We're on camera, and I was just sitting here like this, like lubing up my lips like I was about to suck a dick.
Yeah, I gotta go. Let's get this done because something's gonna happen in here, and I need to not be here. The butt plugs have disappeared again.
You'll be able to hear it where you live.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
I am seeing my friend tomorrow night, so maybe I can make it one more day. You only have to record with me tomorrow.
We're gonna do remote tomorrow. I don't want to get your panther energy.
I do have panther energy. We're recording.
Yes, that was a wrong thing to say.
I would, if I was ever on television and I went like poor what's her name from MILF Manor. That asshole really regrets doing that.
I talked about that on Leon's show today. And I
Yo,
told
it's
him,
Reality Games Part 2. It's his toe. This is goddamn toe. Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality games.
Let's love.
Let's just start it.
This is fucking toe, and I could not be happier. I even poured myself a drink. And I'm wearing my wrap.
And someone got a little chill, didn't you?
Because I got a little cold. You have glitter on your face.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it just comes out. You don't have to say I'm not complimenting myself, but I always, when I like to,
Yes, you are.
I don't want to be I hate being a gift giver and people don't use a gift. It just feels wasteful to me.
I agree. Sure do.
You have used the shit out of that shawl I gave you.
Sure do talk about this one.
Well, at least I give gifts. When's the last time I got something from you?
You get my...
That wasn't a call at 2 a.m. and I have to pay $700 to have your car
Undying
towed.
affection.
Yeah.
Oh, I have something for you. I forgot to give it to you.
I'm scared.
I'll give it to you on camera.
I'm terrified. It's probably a parking ticket.
It's a box with a dead bird in it.
I got this at your house. Could you pay for it?
You just
Sure.
open it up, but it's a dead bird. Like your cat brings you.
That's true.
I do give gifts like a cat.
You are Piano Cat.
I know.
You are Piano Cat.
Y'all, we're very... Wait. Is this airing? Oh, never mind.
What?
Is this airing... Oh, no, I'm thinking it's
What
next week.
What happened?
I'm thinking it's next
Did
week.
the butt plug get stuck in your brain?
It's not a butt plug.
Those watching the intimate portrait would beg to differ.
Next Monday. So when this... Never mind. This is airing on Monday. So you missed the digital worldwide moment. Or next... No. Sorry.
It's a
week from when you're listening to this Monday. I don't know when you're listening to this, though. I'm going to stop talking.
This show episode that we're doing now is airing on January 30th.
Yes.
A week from today, we'll be doing our
digital worldwide moment.
Thank you.
With
there
Mary
we are.
Payne.
It was like I had to go to the front of the car and go.
She's flooded.
Always.
Y'all, if you're on the intimate portrait, you just saw me act like the Dune Buggy from those Hanna-Barbera Battle of the Network
That was
Stars.
a gay car.
It was a gay car.
That car, oh man. He had his chassis adjusted so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Do cars have chassis? They do.
Yeah. There were so many dicks up in those tailpipes.
Oh, yeah. There was some exhaust, and then there was some in. Yeah. What was that cartoon called? Gay as could be. Let's see. Gay car.
Dune Buggy. Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
You know, when you pay for Intimate Portrait, you pay for research while we're doing the show.
It's golly, they had a lot of gay characters because they talk about Snagglepuss, which we've discussed at length.
He's a barrier breaker.
You're very freaked out by the hot comic.
We are standing on her shoulders.
We are. Then don't forget, Quick Draw McGraw, a gay Western.
Where would the cowboy from Village People be without Quick Draw McGraw?
Nowhere. Then there's also Snagglepuss is exit stage left.
Exit stage right, even. Yeah.
And then there's also
that buff Snagglepuss that freaked me out.
Because I was a little turned on by a cat. It was also, remember there was that like little.
I was always a little attracted to him.
That alien in the Flintstones.
Yes.
Gay.
What's his name? I'm freaking out. It's like
people
kazoo.
The car is how we're idiots. It's just called Speed Buggy.
Well, that's disappointing.
Right, it's that one where they all look just like the Flintstones. They literally just got another woman with red hair.
Yes, Speed Buggy.
God, I love Speed Buggy. And then let's see here. We'll just look them up. Gay alien from Hanna-Barbera.
People are really hating on that Velma thing that Mindy Kaling did. I think they're just not giving it a chance. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't love it either.
Oh.
But people are just being mean about it.
Now, if you put gay alien from Hanna-Barbera,
Kazoo,
that pops up.
Kazoo.
Its name is Kazoo. Oh, okay. Oh.
I was screaming that a minute ago.
I just thought you had it wrong.
We have to move on. We have to move on.
There's even a scene with that and the hot Snagglepuss. Oh, I forgot. Droopy the dog, also gay.
Shut up.
I forgot. Droopy the dog was gay as well.
He sure is.
Yes, he is. Wow. Just all.
I'm never found a certain man to love. We have to move on.
We need to move on. I'm getting drawn into this comic. That was a pun.
It was.
I was going to tell you something.
Y'all, besides Digital Word Moment, get tickets for Reality Shade with Mary Payne from Pink Shade. We're going to have special guests. You can get those on our Instagram, on our link tree.
We're
very excited.
Say something transparent about that? May I? I am.
I don't like it when you make a confessional face. I'm afraid you're always going to tell me something I don't want to hear.
I just want to say, y'all, we do work on that, and we have our producer, Christina, but shout out to Ingrid and Caitlin.
Yes.
They really, her producer, Ingrid, not our producer.
And our social
Caitlin
media
does
manager.
social media for us, and she does Pink Shade because we love her so much, and we referred her out. They are doing the
lion's share.
I was going to say they're doing the lion's share. We're doing the queen's share.
Yeah.
We're just kind of showing up like talent.
And I'm just screeching about it when I need to.
He just calls Ingrid and just goes,
Ingrid!
He just yells. We don't even know what about.
She doesn't work for us. I can still yell her name.
I keep telling you that. She doesn't work for us.
She texts me, so I assume that we're paying her something.
Anyway, turn on Tommy.
I know. I'm sure Mary Payne would like us to pay her. Pay your employees.
Pay your employees.
I don't know why I have to say that.
I don't know why either.
Anyway.
Well, you got to tell Todrick Hall that.
Speaking of,
did
you watch?
I did not. Leon and I talked. I said I need to watch it. And Leon said,
"No, you don't."
He said, "Well, I need to watch it because it's what we do and it's gay culture."
It is awful.
He said, "I can only watch 10 minutes of it." He said, and I forgot. He said they keep saying that they're the first reality. He said there was a show last year called the A-List, but then he said there was another show called like The Gays of WeHo last year.
Oh, I never watched that.
We don't watch any of them.
Yeah, Brad has been saying like, yeah, it's really kind of groundbreaking.
It's
really.
not.
It's not. Vapid rich gays talking about rich gay problems. And this guy, Curtis Hamilton, who's like, yeah, I don't know what it's like to be coming out. I'm like, bitch, you're wearing a suit with like an ill-fitting suit with your shirt off and belted and a high-waisted. Everyone knows you gay.
Church, Curtis, when you go to Sunday church and say you're there just to hear the music, they know better.
I just like your suit with no shirt, belted at the high waist. Girl, we know.
Girl.
We know.
We know.
Yeah, you've been out for years.
Yeah, years.
Yeah. But Todrick is trying to redeem himself by it. He did. He went to the Money Exchange and Bob the Drag Queen podcast and tried to say, I've got receipts that I actually paid for my house and I paid the dance. He's like, actually, with those dancers, I told them it was only be exposure and all this. It's like, what people don't realize is I fund everything. I do everything with my own money. I'm like, most people do that.
I will say, and I'm not going to say it on our podcast because it's his tea and it was his podcast, but on Leah Casillas' Everyone is Terrible podcast, he talked about when he was in the Bullet Bar, and you've been to that bar.
In Burbank. Yeah.
In Burbank.
Oh, yes. Many a night.
Whenever he talked to Todrick Hall's ex-assistant, and he told me the tea that the assistant told him. I will let y'all listen. Check that episode out on Everyone is Terrible.
I need to listen. Right after this, you're telling me all of it.
I might make you listen too.
How dare you?
Anyway, it's all alleged, y'all. Alleged. We don't say
Not with Todrick, it's not.
We don't say anything. He has more money than us and can sue us.
I watched him on Big Brother, and I watched him behave like an absolute jerk.
You need to look into that. I bet you can apply for Big Brother soon.
Should be soon.
Speaking of looking like a villain on CBS. You got to do that.
My confessionals will be so awful.
I'm telling you, if casting does not put you on the show, they're bad at their job. I'm gonna say that right now.
I really want to do season 2 of The Traitors. I don't know.
Don't you have to be famous to be on?
No.
Oh wait, half are famous and half
are
not.
normies. I think it's a problem with the show. I think they're all.
How much money can you win?
Like $200,000, but you split it. But you can kind of split it.
Go for the $1 million. Isn't that what they win on Big Brother?
Yeah, but you have to be there for a long time. For the Traitors, you only have to be there for
I know,
weeks.
But I kind of was looking forward to you being gone.
Me
for
being
6
gone
weeks.
for 6 weeks. And me stuck in a house.
Yeah.
And me suffering with idiots.
I was excited. It was going to be a gift. I was going to surprise you. I was going to say I need your keys in case something happens, and then do organizing. I'll call your mom.
Oh, my mic condom fell off.
Your mic condom fell off.
Oh. It's like putting on a red nose.
All right.
Where are we?
You know what? Because I feel like you're just going to... Do we start with Danielle and Yohan, or are you going to be this frenzied? Do we need to end with
I think we need to end with them because...
I feel like you're going to get so worked up that I'm just going to have to walk out at the end of the show while you just stand here screaming.
The rage that is burning for Danielle that is within me is extreme.
Let's not start there then.
Yeah. I would... Before we all... Extreme Sisters is back. Speaking of extreme.
Oh.
And I want to just make just apologize to some of you that we.
Well, it's not for us to say sorry for. We didn't know.
I want to apologize that we didn't know about it.
Yeah, we didn't.
And this is not something we knew that was announced. We just assumed. We apologize that it doesn't seem like it's on Discovery Plus season 2
on TLC. So y'all got to DVR.
You can get it on
TLC.
Well, you can get it on TLC Go,
but you have to watch commercials, which is fucking.
It's also available on Vubo. Is that how you say it? And Philo.
Voodoo.
No, Napster.
Napster. Sometimes y'all can look
LimeWire.
Sometimes you can look on YouTube and find the episode too.
But I wouldn't apparently, say that, for right now, it's not on Discovery Plus. It makes no sense. Why
you saw in the press it was saying going to be on Discovery Plus. So it's something happened.
Seemed to have happened. We've had a lot of sissies who've actually contacted their bot, who's like, "Hey, thanks for talking to Discovery Plus."
We actually, if you are, I highly encourage you, go to Discovery, leave them a message and say, like,
"This is absurd. I pay for this app to watch this show and others like it." It's the same production company as Smothered.
Yeah, it's Smothered, so it should, but something...
Because Smothered used to air on Mondays.
On Mondays, But don't be mean about it, but just let them know. Tweet about it. Do all that stuff. It matters.
We're hearing that and saying, this is something I pay for because so I can watch this whenever I want to.
You don't have to say, reality gays told me to do this. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't put our name into it because they are helping us see.
They already know our names.
And I do know.
Discovery Plus.
And I do know. Yeah, they know. We don't need to be in Discovery Plus's mouth anymore. But just say, hey, I want to. But please don't say my favorite podcast.
No, don't be a Carl's wife.
Reality Gays in Los Angeles, and they told me to message you. And then we'll get another letter from Discovery Plus
saying that we've been maligning the name of Discovery.
And we're not maligning Discovery Plus.
I do think
I love Discovery Plus. They have a lot of good shit.
I think it is a false assumption. I think they need to get the word out there of what shows will be on and what shows won't.
They do. They need to advertise that more. I agree.
Because you assume if a show airs on TLC, you should be able to find it on Discovery Plus.
Probably a lot of people buy Discovery Plus.
That's what they advertised it as.
Yeah, so it's confusing.
Yeah.
So y'all, digital worldwide moment. We talked about that. There was one other thing I wanted to mention.
Darcy and Stacey is back.
Darcy and Stacey is back. I forgot it. I'll remember later.
No. Sorry.
What happened?
I almost knocked over my drink, which would have been a digital worldwide tragedy. Let's talk about
You get so worried about me spilling everything, and
you know what? I never do it. Unlike you,
you spill shit all the time.
Name a time I've spilled something on camera.
Gary, roll that footage. Christina actually has footage of you spilling shit.
You have spilled just as much, if not more.
No, I have not.
But it's my house.
When we lived together, I always spilled your water that you left on the floor.
I don't do that anymore.
No, I mean, we didn't have a coffee table. You put it by.
Because you know what? There's a coffee table here.
I know.
We need to move
on.
We're gonna start, y'all,
with Gabriel
and Isabel
from Margate, Florida, age 32.
I didn't know where that is. I don't know where
Margate, Florida is. Y'all, while you look, this is amazing. He makes fake penises, and not the kind that Jake and I use, and some of you, but basically. I love that his life is about
penises that are for appearance.
For appearance, because that's a big thing for trans people.
Okay. It's in between Boca and Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so more south.
No, on the
I don't know where
on
Boca
the East
is.
Coast. I know. It's on the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like Palm Beach, Boca, Fort Lauderdale, right here. It's kind of like a little bit inland.
Okay.
Near the Everglades.
Oh, wow. A lot of
where there have been no dead bodies taken, I'm sure.
None. Oh, my God. This is what I was going to tell you. News. Did you see this already? I had not seen this. Did you see that Carol Baskin's husband is not dead?
Yes, he's alive.
He's alive. He's alive. He's alive, and I'm forgiven. All those cats are not inside.
I think we all owe her an apology.
Yeah, she said, apparently the government knew that he has been in Costa Rica, and she's like, I am taking all of this shit. And he just ran away. That's going to be the new documentary.
It should be.
Carol Baskin's husband
Who
found.
knew that Carol Baskin would be the unlikely hero here?
I'm sorry, Carol.
She's still weird and wears a flower crown.
I wonder how many times I said on the podcast she killed her husband. Oh, wait. That wasn't me.
You know what? I regret nothing.
Yeah.
I regret nothing. All of y'all out there, you can say I'm sorry. But I was joking. It's all parody. It's all comedy.
Anyway, y'all, not
so
true.
what? Everyone, no thing is, no one is like a huge fan of Carol Baskin.
No, I never watched that
weirdo.
movie.
I did. I got like 15 minutes into it and I couldn't watch it. It was kind of sad. I don't want to
watch movies. I mean, they're doing the one Jennifer.
It's like a parody of a parody of a parody.
Yeah, Jennifer Grey is doing the movie with Quinn Shamblin.
That's a little bit more of a serious story, though. This was almost a comedic story, or a story that was so crazy it became comedic.
I just want to see how they do her hair for Jennifer Grey. That's probably why I'll watch that one. Anyway, so Gabe, or Gabriel, goes by both, Gabe basically, so they're trans, and they make, when you're trans, John, you wear underwear.
I want to say before you even say this, I'm really proud of TLC how they handled the story. It is not a gotcha moment of someone says, "Oh, I'm trans," and someone goes, "Oh." It's not. The thing is, this is not a punchline anymore. It's not a reveal. It is full on. They're talking about the first thing.
Well, and they actually did that with Kris as well, talking about sexuality, and for Jamie, and for both of these storylines, they've done it in a very human way. And I watched this and thought, I have friends that watch this in Lone Grove, Oklahoma, and this will give them hopefully a different understanding of what it's like to be trans.
And it doesn't feel like the punchline doesn't feel like the big, oh my God, like a crying game moment. We're not there.
No.
This is not, oh my God, Carl, I wouldn't have thought he was trans. You're leading with it.
Carl's wife was on board from the get-go.
Her mind was blown.
Blown. Because it's something you don't even think about, y'all. Apparently,
well, you don't think about it unless you're a trans man.
It's weird because I've never looked at a guy's crotch in his clothes.
Now, I've got to say, it doesn't seem like there are no sizes that he's adding onto except for big, gigantic dongs.
It does look like gay underwear advertisements. Very big dicks.
Live your life.
You live your. But so it's a little pouch that you put in the underwear.
Yeah.
We're in the community. I fucking started an LGBTQ camp. Like
I've never heard of this.
I
either.
had never heard that people that are trans are stuffing.
It falls out. I knew they stuff, but I didn't know the process.
I didn't. Yeah, and I didn't think about it. And so it was a really. I just was really.
Or they call it packing, not stuffing.
Packing. Anyway, so he doesn't make the underwear, but he makes the bulges that you can put in the underwear.
I
bet they're like in those like Saks underwear. You know, the kind that have the little pouch for your nuts that don't really work.
This is for as he said, female to male trans people who haven't had bottom surgery.
Yes.
In other words,
and even when you have bottom surgery, the bulge could not be desirable enough.
Right.
So it still adds. I just wrote already.
I'm just saying that was his selling point.
Like I'm 1 minute in and I wrote, I love this man and he can get it.
He can get it. I agree.
Pretty eyes.
And he basically says, if you're a trans guy, there's nothing there. So you have to have a packer and then a harness and everything is heavy. He's like, I remember one time my packer fell out of my pants when I was swimming. I was like, yeah, that's got to be something when something just goes one way. And
I mean, I've been in a pool and things that one of your butt plugs could just pop out. What's that?
That's true.
A floaty. It's the size of a car, Matt. Wouldn't know. All half the water goes out of the pool.
So anyway, he's sewing them into the underwear, and he buys the underwear separate. And he's like, I went to Colombia looking for a supplier, and I met Isabel at a club. And at a mutual friend's house. She's gorgeous. She said, I don't have sex the first night, so we didn't have to deal with the concept of him telling her that he was trans.
Yes.
And anyway, I wrote her again. I'm glad this wasn't some type of I fooled you.
But
moment.
the next day he said, yeah, I was trans, and she was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And y'all, he's just doing a one-man trans pride parade, just there, shirtless. Everything. For a lot of trans men, it is extremely empowering to be shirtless. If you go to Pride, you will see
especially after you've had top surgery.
Yeah, a lot of trans men find that extremely empowering.
Terrified. You couldn't get me with my shirt off somewhere.
I know.
We would get so burned in like the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Although I will say,
I'd wear a sundress.
Yeah.
Good for my shoulders.
You love to get that's one because you like freckles on his shoulders.
Yeah, I do.
Till it's cancer. Mm-hmm. I will say, walking down the street with this one, especially when we were in Tampa, that was like a pride parade with the way this one swished down the street. Producer Christina can.
I was like a rooster,
and I was running around from chickens, which was gay as hell too. I really enjoyed Tampa.
I cannot believe how much I enjoyed Tampa and how I shit talked it.
You really did.
I'm going to go back.
I mean, we got good weather
food.
when we're there too.
Good weather.
Good food, yeah. Good
hot
weather.
boys.
Ooh.
Hot boys. Little weird. Got a little hang-ups with their sexualities. But I got there.
You're not into that, are you?
Maybe. Anyway, now he basically says, I'm a whole man because he's had bottom surgery. I don't really love this, but for him, that's what he needs to say.
Yeah, I do want to say that
you know,
there's a lot of trans people
who say I can be whatever I want to be.
Can we say that? I just want to. We're not trans, so I don't want to speak for trans people.
I don't
but
either.
I want to say for some of you that are watching, just from the trans friends I know, some trans people decide they don't, for many reasons, complications or what they don't want to have top surgery
or top surgery.
They don't want to have bottom surgery, and so. I just want to say that someone's
you're a whole man if you want to
be
be
on the outside does not make someone's gender.
Yep.
Divorce yourself from that idea. If you meet someone and they have quote things that look like breasts, like a woman, and they say they are a man and they are living, they're a man.
And I think exactly. And I think for Gabe, it is obviously very important to be physically as masculine as.
And that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
So I hope he won't get backlash about that because
he might for some of the trans community.
He is talking about his experience.
Yeah.
And
because a lot of people can't afford that even, and so it's just a lot of different variables.
Yep.
So, anyway, so he's moving in a week, and he ends up meeting his friend Keon. Or Keon,
I believe.
Keon, that's his best friend. They met in a trans support group.
Right.
And Keon's main concern is kind of like basically, it's very interesting because his main concern is there not love? Is it not okay? But more of, are you going to be safe and get the shit beat out of you?
Right. I think what we do get a little bit of Gabriel's backstory. That he he says, when I was in kindergarten, I met this girl who dressed as a boy.
This was a great way to explain a trans
I
experience.
know.
Go ahead.
And he said, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, that's possible. So I just wore basketball shorts all the time.
He wore basketball. And then he thought, well, I'm a lesbian because I was attracted to guys.
So... women.
Are attracted to women.
He came out as a lesbian, and at 22, he saw this
a YouTube video.
And this about a person who was transitioning, and basically like, oh, that's it. He became obsessed with that concept, and basically is like.
He said in that moment, he went, that's it. That's who
it.
I am.
And he was talking about the morning after he met Isabel, and he's like, I have to tell her. So this is a person who has a strong ethic to be who they are. Mm-hmm. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And I could see someone like Isabel, even though, she said, it's okay, I see you as a man. Which was very validating to him, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But this idea of I need to be who I am all the time might be a little hard when he goes to Bogota, or he's going to Medellin, where there's a lot of code switching going on.
Yeah.
So I think
but Keon talks about that. This is something that it's not easier, but people that transition to it's easier for them to pass.
Men who are trans men often,
for the most part,
as Keon says, you can't clock us.
You can't. That's the term. Clock us, meaning you can't find. And so, whereas, which if you see, there obviously the trans community, there's a higher rates of murder and bullying.
Yeah,
and there's even
assault,
male to
rape,
female is even at a higher percentage because they do get clocked a lot. So that's honestly, we talked about, that was like one of the things I didn't love about the show Pose is that the trans people that looked very feminine, whereas especially in the 80s, people didn't have the surgery
less
stuff
the
now.
case.
It was harder because they always got clocked. And so anyway, that's just part of queer history. Again, we know a little bit. We're not trans. We don't want to speak to full experience. We're just telling you a little bit we know. But fucking, like you said, kudos to TLC for doing a great job.
I was really happy.
a really great job of because I think a lot of people, like, she just talked about this on her Instagram. I think I Am Jazz is actually coming back on TLC.
It is.
And I love Jazz's story, but like, she was, when Barbara Walters died, that's actually how I got what trans was, is I watched that interview with Barbara Walters when she was a kid. And it kind of did the same way of explaining, because I think a lot of people say, well, you said that you were a lesbian, now you're trans, and they don't get that. This is why it's important for these stories to be on television, and for us to not limit what we're showing on television, to not limit what we have in a library, because when we limit these stories, we erase these people, and I promise you, then we have these kids who feel isolated and alone, who have more mental illness, more suicidality. So kudos to this for doing that.
And the response to take all that out of libraries and to limit exposure is all based on fear.
And not data.
No, exactly.
At all.
It's fear, and it's being stoked by certain media groups in this country that... because it was enough in the 80s to poison people against gay men, and enough in the late 80s or 90s to poison people against lesbians.
But now because of Ellen, because of
mainstream media,
because of people like Leslie Jordan,
same-sex marriage support in 2012 was like high, and that's why public opinion. So now we have to attack groups that may be a little bit like people may find, and I'm saying this not as my words, but fringier. In other words, they're not as mainstream.
Well, and people that can do something to your children.
Yep.
Because gay men were told that was a thing in the 80s, that gay men were pedophiles. Yep. Not true.
So
now there's a lot of trans of the bathroom. Yeah. None of that is true.
I want to disabuse anyone who's listening of the ideas that trans women are trying to get into bathrooms to molest your children, because it is 99.9 a straight man doing that.
A straight man who's maybe they'll dress as a woman, but they are not trans.
So please stop using those examples. I'm begging you.
It
is not hurting people.
No, it's killing people.
Yeah.
It's killing people. So I said that like Kimberly.
You did.
It's killing people. But it is. So anyway, we bring that up because this is the most watched show by women in the country.
Yes.
So I hope that a lot of people
can change minds.
So it's I guarantee you, sadly, Gabe is going to get a much better reaction on TLC. Whereas if it was a man transitioning to a woman, a lot more shit would come at her or them.
I agree.
Sadly. So anyway, that's a little bit of our soapbox, but it's
it's not a soapbox. That's what we think.
We feel it's in something important to us, just because we have friends that are trans, and and we love them.
We're a part of the community.
Yeah. So anyway,
basically, he's rented an apartment in Medellin. She's moved in. He's proposed to her. What could go wrong?
Who else is from Medellin, Poodle?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, Melissa.
I'm your favorite.
Melissa.
I'm here with my wife.
They have a baby. I was going to say drug cartels, but that's way further back.
Yeah.
No. Melissa and Golden Retriever, y'all.
My wife
in
Medellin.
They have a baby.
And remember, that baby was spontaneously born of her hatred of him.
Wait. The other way. So that was the other way last season Runaway Train?
That was B90, I believe.
That was B90. I gotta keep talking. I gotta see who was on the other way season.
It's 3. A long time ago.
I can't remember.
So anyway, her mother, Isabel's mother and father, do not know that Gabe is trans. And he basically is saying, I have to tell them, and that way, otherwise, because you know what? They've accepted me from the start. And he's like, so this idea of needing to be yourself, because he's worked so hard to become who he wants to be.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing to watch. And he basically says, I want to marry your daughter. He's like, he says, I have two things to basically say at the same time. I want to marry your daughter and I'm trans. I don't think I'd do it at the same time.
No.
I believe I would space those out a day, 3 days, a week. Now, here's the thing. We talked about before about with Jamie, where maybe sometimes you don't need to tell your parents that you're either lesbian. Would it be better if they somehow just did not tell the parents? I mean, I just cannot imagine. To me, and this is my way, is I can see parents accepting a lesbian daughter quicker than a trans man for a son-in-law. Maybe I'm.
I think though what's coming up is they're both young, and the parents are probably going to be like, "When are you having kids?" That's going to be a different process for them. So either then they're going to have to lie, and then think about this: if they do have children, and she already does have kids, you don't want to lie to your kids about who you are.
No, that's true.
So the kids say
I totally agree. I just wonder.
It just does seem like a lot.
Can you imagine explaining? And he even says these are two people who've been lovely. She seems like she's from a rural area. Can you imagine just explaining that?
Yeah, we don't know if
people?
she's from Medellin.
Yeah,
maybe. By the way,
maybe
this
I'm
is going to
wrong.
blow your mind. It wasn't that long ago. It was July of 2021 that we had The Other Way when it premiered.
So basically, a year and a half
ago. But I forgot. Alina and Steven. Forgot about them. Ellie and Victor.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Who killed her first husband.
And then we had...
Her pizza place went out of business.
You just learned this about Carol Baskin. Maybe you need to not say people killed their husband. You were wrong.
I'm not wrong about Ellie yet.
I'm sorry about her pizza place.
I know.
And she lives in Seattle now. She didn't want to do
With
it
him.
anyway. With him. Armando and Kenny.
Wow.
And because we had a lot of returns. We had Submit
and Jenny.
And then remember Ari and Biniam.
That's right. That was kind of like a lot of layovers.
And don't forget, then like, when you've already had an orgasm like 4 times, but for some reason, either you're on drugs or you're just sad, but you've got to...
I'm following.
You've got to jack off for that 4th time. You're just raw. It doesn't feel good. You don't want to... You just want to stop, but you can't. So you're like, let me just get the last little of just disgustingness out of me. We got Evelyn and Corey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, we hated covering that.
Yeah, we hated... That was remember, you forgot. You hated that season of Toe because it was really a happily ever after in Toe's clothing.
Thank you.
It was.
This is like the first new season of
entirely new cast
that we've had since season 2 of Toe.
I think so. Guess because Jenny and Submit were season 2, right? They weren't on season 1, were they?
I think they were on season 1
because they were on The Other Way then.
Yeah.
And Kenny and Armando were on season 2 first time.
Yeah.
So I guess hopefully we'll get. Because I miss Kenny and Armando. Hopefully we'll get them. I know they do Pillow Talk. Yeah. Veronica's doing Pillow Talk for this. Hopefully we get them, though, on Happily Ever After.
Let's hope so. So y'all, later on, he is deciding to get a tattoo of her name on his arm. When will we learn, y'all? When will we learn?
I think something that happens a lot, whenever you feel this happens a lot to queer people, lesbian people, trans people. I think for anyone who feels unloved, when someone you feel like loves you, you're all in very quickly. And Gabe's sister Monica,
I think that's true for anyone who's got a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Though,
Yeah. I was just speaking of this experience, but yes, for Monica, his sister is like,
boy,
Gabe,
someone reads the fuck out of him.
Yeah, she's like, you always jump into relationships. She's like, well, I don't really. She's like, what about the tattoo of the ex-girlfriend on the back of your neck? And now you're getting the tattoo of Isabel on your arm. And he said, I don't really see that. We're just going to black it out.
So y'all, and she's like, remember when you moved your girlfriend into our mom's house? So
she just keeps like, Just throwing cards.
Honestly, I can understand. This is someone who's had to pick up the pieces from his life.
Oh,
so
he didn't even tell her he was going to get the tattoo. And she said, well, my boyfriend's the one tattooing you, so of course I'm going to know, bitch. Y'all. And also, his sister looked beat. She was gorgeous.
And then what's interesting is he says, she's like, you also said that you didn't want anyone who had kids. And he says, but they're big, 16 and 11. That 11-year-old is still going to need raising.
That 11-year-old still needs parenting.
Yeah. And anyway, y'all.
And that's different. And then
Gabe is making up a lot of stuff in his head.
A lot of
here.
stuff. What? And so Gabe also said, or Monica said, but you pay the bills. And I went, that didn't get clarified.
No, I guarantee.
Is he
pays for
sending
everything.
money? He's got to be. I mean, is he that lucrative in this underwear company? That'd be great. But
It's his own company. So.
But I can't imagine he makes that much money.
I think it's a specialized business, and I bet your margins are pretty decent.
And if a lot of people aren't doing it, you don't have a lot of competitors.
Yep.
I hope he makes his full business
I'm
doing
glad
that.
he's doing it.
But he says, I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my soul. And then he says, and I'm just going to do what I want.
I really have a lot of hope for these two people. We don't know Isabel.
We don't
yet.
know Isabel. She looks she looks kind of like, how do I say this? She looks kind of normal and like very wholesome girl next door in the pictures and video we see. In her confession, like when they show the cast, she like got a glam up.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that means she's here for I don't know.
I'm gonna not say much more because whenever I do that, the show Matt Sharp just cold cocks me.
It does.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm gonna go take a little break and walk around, see what I can find from Poodles. And Poodle's gonna go outside and just scream fire for a little bit. Because when we get back, we're gonna talk about Yohan and Daniele.
Oh, it's crazy. You still have glitter on your fucking face.
I don't know where it came from. It
Slash
came from
off.
your house. I did not have glitter on my face until I came here. That's how we're starting this segment. I did not have glitter on my face until I came to your house. I learned it from watching you, Daddy.
All right. Y'all.
Just do it. Just
Daniele
do
and
it.
Yohan. Daniele is 42 from NYC. Yohan is 32 from the Dominican Republic.
Again, if you haven't watched us on Love is Paradise, stop listening now.
Stop now and watch a true cringe experience in how one person treats another person like shit.
And the fact that they went through all of that and she's still choosing to treat him this way is the real.
It's
just
unbelievable.
like-
It's unbelievable. Now, y'all, Daniele, they were on Love in Paradise. Daniele, this is the reason why they're a gold mine for TLC.
What a balal.
No, don't even. You know what?
I get that.
They live in the same universe.
The same universe of I do what I want and control.
Here's what she doesn't have, and this is why she's almost better TV, which I think so. She has zero self-awareness, almost
That's true.
negative self-awareness.
She does have no self, which is it's funny moments because she has no idea.
Genius.
Yeah.
This woman will say anything on camera and believe it. And the thing about it is, y'all, she believes this stuff.
She believes everything she says.
It's the gap between her expectations and the actual reality where I live and comfortably laugh at her.
Well, good. Maybe you won't hate this season. For a while.
I don't.
No, because
thing
I mean like it's not like a hate watch. Because you're right that
I really
ineptitude of self-awareness is entertaining.
I'm enjoying laughing at her because I really dislike her. I don't think I hate her. I really dislike her. I think she's a terrible person. I think she's a monster underneath. I think she's, what I said in the last episode, I think she's a user of people. And her whole life she's been that way. And people try to get through to her and she doesn't understand it because she has zero empathy.
She does not have...
Yeah, it's...
She has empathy. Fake
What's that?
empathy.
Oh.
No, she does. I bet she's one of those people that I can't imagine what her insufferable posts are like on social media.
I mean, I'm sure the thing about it is the slot she was trying to fill on Love in Paradise is the woman who is a little older.
Stella got a groove back slot.
She's in her 40s. She's there to have fun. She's like, I'm a woman in my 40s. I'll have a good time if I want to have it, but I still want love. And you kind of want that, but then you realize she's rotten inside.
And it is. And it's interesting. You see, this is why y'all put her on The Other Way, because you were originally probably filming season 3 of Love in Paradise, y'all, because they're already married.
Yeah, they're married.
So technically, like, I mean, that can happen on The Other Way, but normally that doesn't happen with a new couple we've never seen on The Other Way. They want us to, with like Jenny and Sunit.
Yeah,
they want
to
show
experience
like
the growing pains.
the beginning. And the producers were like,
no,
fuck Love in Paradise. We're putting this cuckoo-ness on full-on 90
Here's the thing. She's on The Other Way. He thinks he's on 90 Day Fiancé.
He does think he's on 90 Day Fiancé.
Like, y'all, take that in. He thinks he's going to the U.S. after they get the visa.
It's true.
She ain't leaving the DR. After she's going to go down, she's going to come back. Then she's going to go back to the DR to live permanently. Although she hasn't told him.
She hasn't told him.
She hasn't mentioned that fact.
Also, she lives in New York City. Are they playing Bernstein or Gershwin?
They would never be able to afford any of these rights.
That's but it sounded really good. They've upped their royalty. It's not the same.
You need to listen closer.
It's not the same royalty free. You got to admit the quality of the music is better.
It was very West Side Story in the beginning.
Yeah, it was better though. And she's like, it's so hard in New York. And I will say, this is a theme that comes through the whole thing. And I think we're going to get the whole
Life is
season.
hard for Danielle.
I get it. There might be a lot of places you don't feel like you can live in this country, but she acts like the United States of America is just New York City.
That and what she is, when she talks like an entitled white person who can't wait to live somewhere where it's cheap.
Yes.
And what that's a stone's throw from is rich people who love to live somewhere abroad because of corporate tax loopholes. And it's in the same vicinity.
They could live in parts of Florida. If she wants to live somewhere warm by the beach, they could. There are places in Florida that it's not. What I think it's a deeper thing. It's not about that the U.S. is so expensive. This woman wants to run away from her life.
Ding, ding, ding.
She feels like a loser.
And she feels like it's so hard and she's struggled for so long.
No, it's because people in the world keep saying, in the U.S., keep saying, what the fuck are you doing?
And I want my tropical paradise vacation to last the rest of my life. Now, how am I going to make money? I'm just going to use my pension. Oh, wait, if I stayed another year, I would get an extra $15,000.
But when you're 63 years old, I'm not going to care about that much money then. And I went, must be nice to be Danielle. Must be nice to be Danielle.
But I'm saying the level of, there's no self-reflection at all.
There's also no, it is very, I want it now, girl.
Yes.
From Willy Wonka. There's no future thinking in this at all. At all.
Yeah.
Y'all, we saw this whenever, and again, we're going to reference it, so you're going to be confused you haven't seen it, but remember when she went to his home?
Yes.
In the DR?
She was horrified.
She was horrified by the conditions that he lived in.
But she liked talking about it because she liked being Sally Struthers.
Yes.
She liked that. I'm slumming it. I'm really slumming it.
And she likes telling all of her U.S. friends, like, it's this Tania
they don't
thing,
have anything there. And I'm going to go live with them.
I'm such a good person because I live here. And I'm having such a hashtag island life.
I would
hashtag chill vibes.
I would totally slap her in the face if I met her.
The views of Jake Anthony are not the views of reality, guys. We do not promote,
y'all
do not promote violence on this show.
Y'all know you want to slap Danielle in the face. It is a very slappable face.
Because the deal is, she said, like, this is kind of jumping around, but she says to Yohan one point, do you know how expensive? I pay $4,000 a month just for an apartment. And I went, bitch, you can live in fucking Naples, Florida, by the beach, in a really cute apartment, but you don't want to live in the U.S.
She would never, ever live there. It is a choice between New York or paradise.
Yeah.
And that's how black and white things are.
Again, yes, all of the United States is New York City for her.
Yep, you're right.
Because I think he said he wanted to, this is going back to season 1, though, but didn't he say that he wanted to live in New York City because of the Dominican Republic community that is there?
The Dominican community.
Aren't there some, I know it's way bigger in New York, but aren't there other pockets in other, yeah. So she's not even telling him about that.
No, this is another level of this is financial abuse, y'all.
That is why I said Bilal, it's abusive.
She is fully letting him know she's in charge of the purse strings. She is fully letting him know that he's going nowhere without her.
Imagine
she's in charge.
If the sexes were reversed, how y'all would be freaking
She's
out
a
right now.
monster. I've said this before. I thought this on it was soft pedaled on the first season of Love in Paradise. She showed flashes of it. She's going
full on in it.
Full villain this season.
Full villain.
And I'm here for it.
Here for it.
Let's roast this bitch.
So she was a single mom since 21. Her kids are grown
Cry
now.
me a river.
So we get a little bit of our backstory. And meanwhile, she of course she's teaching her yoga class because that's what she does in her spare time.
Would have never seen that coming.
Exactly.
And that head wrap and that ridiculous head wrap.
That's another thing too. It's like her religion's an African religion. Ifa. I don't know. I'm clearly, if you're watching the Intimate Portrait, very, very white.
Wasn't aware.
But her religion's an African religion. I don't know her full makeup. Background.
I believe her background. Well, she had to learn Spanish. It did not come natural to her. I don't think she's. But her background is Latinx, I believe.
I thought so too.
But she had to learn Spanish.
So, just like by the way she dresses, and it just feels like a bit of appropriation.
Those fucking sundresses and those kind of like pseudo African.
And I'm just like
dresses. No, everything this woman does tweaks me.
So I'm in putting all the pieces together. What it tells me is, so this is your kink to be with a dark-skinned black man, and
I'm sure that's something to it.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder. Do you
with
really
a dick size as my arm? With a dick the size of my arm?
Y'all, she said that. That I can understand.
Yeah,
I can get behind that. No, literally. Well, actually, I'll get in front of it. Mm-hmm. A lot. Anyway, so she's talking to her friends, and she tells her friends Elise and stuff. She's like, "I'm leaving."
First of all, these are not her friends.
Nope.
These are people in her yoga class.
They're from Manhattan Casting.
Yeah, and they're basically. She's like, she's like, this is my last class. First, no one does this, y'all. No one says this is my last class. I'm leaving. It's weird.
Well, people that do it that want,
they're assholes. Yeah. So she's a legendary asshole. She really is. One of the biggest assholes. So they're basically like, well, I'm so glad you're getting to do this. So you're gonna go there. You're married. You're gonna have nothing to do. And they're like, have you ever heard of a Sankey Panky? And she's like, no, that's not what he is. And we find out a Sankey Panky, y'all, is a man who meets a white woman, a man from the Dominican Republic, I believe, who meets a white woman. He works at a resort, and she pays for everything, and especially pays for his family.
Because she does pay. So, and that is all of those. Everything you just described is their experience. So let's talk about that, because we've talked about this a little bit on prior seasons. Is he a Sankey Panky? Is he conning her?
Well,
we don't fully know, but he was very adamant from the get-go.
He was on Tinder.
Yes.
They have found him on Tinder. Now,
and he was very adamant about it. It's a USA dream.
Someone may be using his picture.
That's true. But we don't. So we're going after her. He could be a dog in this too, y'all.
Yeah.
We have No, but which leads me to believe, does she believe that? And she also doesn't want to go to the U.S. because she doesn't want him to leave her.
All of it.
All of it.
If he is conning her, she's trying to out-con him before.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like one of those.
Great way to live.
It's like what? Oh, I love that movie where they try to out-con the con. What movie is that? I love movies
hate
like
my
that.
life.
No, I love those movies.
I hate this because you're not even going to describe it.
No, you know those movies where someone cons someone, then they figure out it's a con, and they're like, I'm going to con them. And it's very like Neil Simon, we're going to con a con. Oh, I love that.
What Neil Simon was that?
No, it's not a Neil Simon, but it feels that kind of farce funny. I can't think of the movie, but God, I loved it. It's like right there.
Riveting. Again, our show is just riveting.
Or maybe I'm thinking of that episode of Friends where she says, so they don't know that we know that you know. That was about Monica and Chandler. That I enjoyed too.
So, we're meeting Sandra and Lisette, the actually two friends we remember from the other two who were even more shady than these two.
It's true.
Probably have nothing to do with Danielle anymore.
Nothing to do with it. By the way, Christina, after I told that Friends story, could you just play the Friends transition music before Jake moved on?
I'm staring at the camera the whole time because I'm wishing I could kill you with my brain and you'd just stop talking. I got to work on that skill.
Yeah. Lizette hasn't talked to this bitch since she was on the show. Y'all, because if you haven't seen where Lizette has an epic takedown of Danielle, it's beautiful.
This was so good.
It was so good.
It was almost as good as this when they were talking to her. And she's like, so Danielle, you're moving to the DR and with two suitcases. Dos maletas.
And she's like, yep, that's it.
And she's like, so what are you going to do?
That's it.
And they just stare at her. And she's like, I don't know.
I like the beach.
I'll eat mangoes. And they're like,
she says,
I can teach a yoga class.
Yeah, I can teach yoga on the beach. And then there's always Zoom.
And Sandra just goes, that you can't do that every fucking day. And there's like, so what are you going to do for work? We need to take a moment here, and I need you to appreciate this. I'm just going to manifest it.
Manifest.
And the way these two women look at her are just like, they want to laugh.
I thought Lizette was going to pull a football helmet out from under the table and just bludgeon her.
Y'all, here's the other thing you need to know about these two women. Danielle is the friend they all talk about on the phone and group texts.
All of them.
This is your wreck of a friend who you have to text your other friends. You will not believe what Danielle told me last night.
I think the only thing that you're like, I'm watching this going, how does Danielle have emotional capital in these friendships?
She doesn't.
I think Danielle probably because she wants to be the savior. I bet when our other friends do have a crisis or a problem,
she's probably good in them.
She probably listens to them. She'll bring them food.
Yeah.
She's probably is that friend.
She's probably good in a crisis.
Of other people's crisis.
It's makes a fucking mess of her life.
Not her own.
So she's like, I'm giving up everything for love.
And Sandra says, Danielle, life is more than just sundresses and walking around on the beach.
I screamed and I wrote, "This is a read." They are flaming her.
Lizette says, "Quote: She's walking into chaos and she has no idea what that means."
And then she says, with this level of arrogance that is almost palpable. It's almost, you can feel in the air. She's like, all of the concerns my friends are raising, like, are in the what if category. And, I don't really worry about the what ifs.
Which brings us.
It's time for a lightning round.
It's a lightning round, y'all. Time for a reality gaze lightning.
The question is, my neighbor is upstairs
just killed someone.
She's actually doing a game where she's playing whack-a-mole on the floor.
Yeah. So yes, this is a speed round of what poods.
The game is what ifs should Danielle probably think about when she goes to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll start.
And go.
If she will be able to find her baby circumcised penis cream at the mall there. Okay.
Will she? Her what ifs would be: do you need to be emotionally there for the children that you brought into the world?
I don't know if that works for me.
Too sensible.
Is there a kava? Is there a kava in the DR? She loves her kava bowls.
That's true.
She loves her kava bowls.
Yeah, loves her kava bowls. Is there a Frederick Fekkai salon?
Oh, definitely. What happens if she gets his ginormous penis stuck in her vagina? And she just has to kind of like walk around like a blow-up doll or like a propeller. And he just has to wear her. I think we're done. He's just wearing her body.
Oh,
just on his waist.
Just wearing his body.
Because he can't get his dick out of her because it's big.
Because it's big.
This is the thing. She hasn't thought if there's going to be a kava.
No.
She hasn't thought if there's going to be a Frederick Fekkai.
No, she hasn't.
She
hasn't thought of any of this. I wonder,
just spin the propeller and he can just take off.
It's shocking that someone, and not shocking because we watched this show for a while, we have seen this sort of naivete, delusion, often in younger people. But it is rare, again, to see in someone. It's different. Like,
she's had life experience.
But also, too, Danielle's not a stupid person.
Yeah.
She's actually an intelligent person
and
who has built a career for herself.
That's upsetting.
She has this autonomy. She has this self-reliance in other issues. But it's like this, because we've had other people that are older, like the blonde woman we're going to meet later is going to be completely on planet Yaba. Like, she's going to be not. We've had.
I'm going to say this right now. She's going to give me so much joy this season. I just know it. Please don't disappoint me, Tabitha from Passions.
Tabitha. We've had, what's her name? Who did samurai shit.
Ella. No.
But Ella was younger.
She was, and she was sad in her own way.
She was wrapped in
pretty
trauma.
Much covertly traumatic trauma and covertly racist.
I mean,
that she was.
We've had Nickel, which is, from talking to classes.
You know what? There's
similarities.
There's a little nickel here.
Yes.
And it's the level of, I'm not wrong, so don't question me. That's the nickel principle here that's at work.
And you know that Nickel.
But Nickel's dumb.
But also, I'm just going to say, Nickel, because she talked about it a little bit the first season, you could tell Nickel had issues with the way she looked and like her body. Danielle is, even Danielle too, on top of that, is what is considered, quote, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
also, Danielle has never shown a shred of vulnerability about herself.
No.
She's always walking around like she calls the shots.
She cried about something when we met her, and I don't remember what it was.
Not met her. Oh, you mean,
when we...
It was probably that...
but that's it. But it's... Nickel almost did.
Yeah.
But a lot of these people, they don't know any better.
Yeah. She knows better.
She knows better.
So, y'all...
She's old enough to know better.
Still do your girl. Anyway.
By the way, y'all, thank you for your feedback. We understand Dick Down by 8 is now a new...
Dick Down by 10.
By 10, I'm sorry. It's got someone of the other sissies
or
said...
no, Dick Me Down by 10.
Dick Me Down by 10. There was one of the sissies who said, I'm old, you got to Dick Me Down by 8. That's why I said that. Dick Me Down by 10 is...
It's going to be that musical episode.
It's going to be on the Nashville charts any day.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope. Thank you.
So, y'all, she basically reveals, and this is when I went, oh, you're such a fucking monster. Yohan thinks we're going to the DR, and then we're going to go to New York City. But I haven't applied for the K1 yet.
And her friend said, wait, so you're lying to him? And she says, I'm not lying to him.
Yeah.
I just haven't told him if I applied or not. And they went...
Yeah. Remember, you brought up the term future faking.
Yes.
This is this is a great example of it.
And the future faking is done by people who are narcissists.
Yeah.
She actually does fall under, especially if you look up covert narcissism, she's right in it.
So then she said this, which actually gave me chills. You know, I could just hold on to the marriage certificate and never apply for the visa. And she said it in the confessional on camera without a single regret.
Single regret.
And it's chilling, and it's like...
That's what gives me the Bilal vibes sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he would say things like that, like, and it's so detached.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she's better at faking empathy than he is.
She really is.
Yeah. And this is why this person is a little dangerous in her life. Because you would think she was a person. But no, she's so self-involved and so without actual empathy that she can pass.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a monster. Monster! I wrote again, you're a monster.
So we see Yohan.
Everything's hard in New York.
It's so hard. Y'all, he's a personal trainer. I guess he doesn't work at that resort anymore.
No.
He's 32. Y'all.
Oh, just one more thing before you left. We said this before. She's like, yeah, and I got a letter from the state saying I'd get an extra $15,000 if I stayed one more year. And the friends are like, what's your fucking problem?
Like,
yeah, they're speechless.
And y'all, again, sorry, but it was on last season, especially on season 2. She bitched about money and finances.
She had a real problem with
time.
$200 for the peanuts.
She bitched about it the entire time.
Yeah.
If you're going to bitch about your financial situation and you don't take opportunities to help your financial situation,
and
I can't help you.
And the friends go, obviously we wish you the best. So,
yeah, we wish you the best.
That's kind of my line too. Obviously we wish you the best.
By the way, y'all, Sean Robertson's going to be on Nicole.
She's on Nicole Byers.
Molly, right?
Not on
Marcy.
Sorry.
She's
not on our podcast.
We asked her. She said no. So whatever.
Maybe it's because all the shitty stuff we said.
You know what? We hope that she gets a lot of healing.
I hope she gets the... I wish her... I only wish her the best.
We'll only wish her the best. So
let's talk about Yohan.
Yohan, y'all, he's hot.
He's very hot.
He's hot. He's hot.
Very
he's
tall.
hot. He's hot.
Huge penis. Like you said, I don't know if he's either convinced himself that he loves her to get to America.
He gave
or he's
us
conning
suspicions in I forget which season of Love in Paradise.
There's only been one.
Oh, they were only 2. Yeah. He did give us suspicions by some of the things he would say and the Tinder thing and all that.
But it still feels like she's preemptively double conning him.
Oh, yeah, because when he said, the thing I like about Danielle, she's sensible. Something Lizette never says about Danielle. And I wrote, how the fuck are you?
You know what it is?
Well, hold on. I wrote, how the fuck do you think she's sensible? And I went, oh, wait, you do because she's conning you.
Exactly.
Because she's showing you a different side.
Also, he's basically emotionally a teenager, y'all. And it's not
takes care of his family.
And it's not just the language thing. He's an overgrown man-child.
He's Fun Bobby, he's Fun Bobby at the resort. That's why he was good at that job.
Yeah.
He entertained people, and we need to go to a resort.
And there's not
where a guy entertains us.
I don't think there's a lot to him. It all just went to his penis, which
again, we need to go to a resort where a guy entertains. I'm down for that.
Anyway. She comes in there. He picks her up like she's nothing.
Yeah. Because he can. Because he's a hulking man.
Have you ever seen those pictures in the Guinness Book of World Records? They put the shortest person in the world next to the tallest person.
Does look like them. Does look like them.
It's like they find like the smallest like dwarf person, and then there's like someone who's like 7.5 feet tall.
Yes.
That's what it looks like every time they're next to each other in their title cards.
Yeah.
The shortest woman and the tallest man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, y'all, she starts in, and this is when which is when the first thing I said on last episode, when she's like, I'm so excited to be with him, and now I have to tell him that we're never going to New York City. How am I going to do that? Oh my God, I've got his fate in my hands. Oh my God, I'm mad with power. Como,
she said
it's fine.
The fact that she said it
It's
during their
disturbing.
testimony, in their moment, in front of his face, on camera, and laughed at it, went, you don't give a fuck about him.
It was one of the most chilling things I've seen.
He's your green card for your vacation life.
It was terrifying to watch, and you realize she doesn't understand how cruel she's being.
I actually saw in that moment, and I went, I hope he cheats on you and wrecks you, because you kind of deserve that.
Well, every time he fucks her, he wrecks her. So, and she keeps saying things like, "It's so perfect here.
You got to drive down the road." She's like,
leave.
"I want to go to the beach.
I want to go to the beach.
It's so much better here than in my country. It's so much." And we're not saying that, y'all. Don't get us wrong. We're definitely not saying the U.S. is the best country in the world.
No,
we're not saying that.
But she is laying it on.
We're not like what's his name from 90 Day Fiancé.
Not Eric saying it's America.
Y'all,
it's
we're
Baraboo, Wisconsin.
On our class. By the way, classless. We're in Baraboo right now.
She's extremely wealthy when she lives in.
She lives in a very wealthy palace, but it's not America.
We live in America, and at least my 2-bedroom apartment with terrible stained carpeting is
that
in America.
I kicked my daughter out of.
Yeah.
And even though it's her apartment with this shitty balcony, America.
It's America.
Y'all,
it's America.
Season 6 of 90 Day Fiancé. We just watched the episode where Larissa sees Las Vegas for the first time.
Buddy, I thought it would be nicer. And she just stares at Colt.
So she keeps going, this is my American dream. It was so good. Y'all, that's our class. It's on our $5 tier.
This was Camelot.
Oh, it was. It was
Paradise Lost.
Oh, and then immediately we just watched the episode where Eric takes Lita to that fucking cabin instead of staying in New York City.
And she's like this.
She literally looks like someone just put rat diarrhea under her nose. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. We know it's only going to get better.
We all know it's only going to get better.
So, y'all, she basically says, she's like, I need to look for something more than temporary, more permanent, more than a year.
He's like, wait a minute. What are you saying? I'm confused.
And she said, I don't ever want to go to my country. And he says, you're crazy.
He's like, that's not our plan. Yeah. That's not what you told me.
She's like, I just want sun, family, peace, and calm. My dream is not New York City.
And she goes, and she starts yelling at me, in New York, you working. Oh, wait, no. I was going to write, you working. You have nothing. Because Danielle.
That's him.
That's Yohan who says that.
He said.
That is how, but I'm saying that's how Danielle acts like life is so hard for her and she's living in poverty. And I went, bitch, I will say this, you live in New York City, which is one of the greatest cities in the world.
Here's the thing.
America or not, that's a privilege.
She's going to be there, if they move there, for 6 months. She'll get sick of cold showers. Or she'll pay for it until her money runs out.
Or she can pay for it.
Money runs out, he's gone.
Or she can pay for a warm shower and afford it maybe.
Yeah.
Like, it maybe. I think those are, I don't know if she'll get sick of it because it's truly, what I think she'll get sick of is Yohan.
Yeah.
And she'll want another.
Big dick or not.
Bigger dick or not.
Because he's not now he won't completely submit to her every time.
Yeah.
Like we see a clip, y'all, later on this season, my wife won't do this. And she's like, you're my wife. And Yohan just stares at her.
Oh, and the thing is, they're already married. And what's sad is that marriage isn't like marriage in America and the Dominican Republic. Like, it's really I believe it is much more of a commitment.
Yeah,
he talked about that.
So
I hope that he.
She's like, all the apartments in New York are expensive. And she's like, I see what... Yohan says, I see what she's doing. She doesn't want to do this. But I'm telling you, in reality, you work here. You just said, you work and you work and you work and you get nowhere.
He said you work and you work for years.
It just tells you...
You have nothing.
Remember what we said about the most important thing about a 90-day fiancé couple and couplehood in general is that your values align. He wants to build a life that is based on work and success. She wants to go into her dotage and retire and become an old beach witch.
Yes.
It could not be further from what he wants.
But she's the one that lied to him about that.
Yeah.
I guarantee y'all, she coerced him and said, and she promised him New York.
Yeah.
Because she feels unlovable or something's up with her.
Yeah.
That she feels like she can use him.
And as soon as did you hear her turn when she turned when he said, I don't want to live here, and she goes, huh, American dream is dead. Your New York dream is dead. And he's like, you don't even know English. You're going to learn English when? Then it becomes like...
We show him he is trying to learn English.
Super abusive to him.
It is...
Yeah.
Again, y'all, if this was a man doing this to a woman, y'all would want them canceled.
And then she says...
Please don't want them canceled.
She says...
I want to see her get her come up.
Well, here's the thing. We're living here. He can't go anywhere without me. And I went... Okay, so that's where we are. We're threatening now.
I'm like watching this go, do you hate men? What's something so
it's not about
that we don't even know?
It's not about that.
I don't think but there's something so much deeper.
It is about...
But no, I do think he is paying for the sins of other people.
Amen.
In her life.
Yeah. That's the episode, y'all. I'm glad we saved this for last because
I know you were.
I have less outrage now that I've been kind of like cooed into submission.
You're half drunk.
Yeah.
The vodka helps. Mm-hmm. Vodka helps, y'all.
Mama's medicine. Kick.
If you're watching Intimate Portrait, you just saw Poodle's junk when he lifted up his leg. Sorry about it.
I'm not.
Where are we now? I don't
so
even.
Tired.
You can totally. No, I'm not tired. I'm excited to watch them, but after really dissecting that,
no, she's a fucking monster.
I am a little tired, but it's not that. I'm kind of just like I actually feel a little like anxious and gross and like this is what I'm gonna need from TLC for me to kind of like. I feel the way you felt watching MILF Manor right now. I feel a little sickened.
Wow.
But what I need it to come out somehow that Yohan is conning her too.
Let's hope so.
And then I'm like, okay, I can, because it's a little bit that he's not safe in this.
Yeah.
And I feel like
it's also she has the potential to be a really Machiavellian villain.
It reminds me of, even though he was conning her, so it made it, but it reminds me of Eva Muhammad. She kind of did those vibes with him,
but
she
not
was like,
to that extent.
Not to that extent. But remember, like afterwards, when we heard the video of her screaming at him and all that,
ooh, that was rough.
I could see her doing that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna go wash the stank of this, but it was great. Great episode.
Go to realitygaze.com. It's not porn anymore. Find us on Instagram at Reality Gaze Podcast. You can there buy tickets for our digital worldwide moment, aka Reality Shade, happening February 6th. We're so excited about that. My poor neighbor.
Your poor neighbor.
Actually, I don't apologize.
All right, everybody.
Anyway, follow us on
like
Twitter.
Like that Carrie
Reality
Underwood
Gaze
song, You Unapologize.
I love that song. Reality Gaze Pod, and you can find us on TikTok, at Reality Gaze.
Yes, and you can find Poodle at picklefinder.net after 11:35 Pacific time. I'm
going to be late tonight. Sorry, everybody.
It's true. Did you feel the earthquake?
I did not. I slept right through it. Actually, I was having my own little earthquake.
All right, everybody. We call these people
That's
Lonely
my
Hearts.
favorite Tori Amos album.
Yeah.
Wow.
We call these people Lonely Hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places, Poodle?
Yes. And if you've ever been asked how you're going to make money and you say, I'm going to manifest it.
Manifest it.
Call us.
Call us.